ఓకే. ఇప్పుడేమో నార్మల్‌గా ఉందా?
Clear, sir.
ఓకే. రైట్. సో, okay. So this Kubernetes development can be done in two methods. One is unmanaged and one is managed method. Okay. So I think you are already aware of this unmanaged and managed concept. Okay. So if you simply want to understand, just simply if I say managed Kubernetes installation. So for example, if you are working on Azure, it is provided as Azure Kubernetes service. Similarly, if you are working on AWS, they will be providing with the name AWS Elastic Kubernetes service. Similarly, on the Google Cloud, it is called as Google Kubernetes engine. Similarly, if you are working on Oracle Cloud, it is given on the name Oracle Container Engine for Kubernetes. So, in this managed part, what happens is, for example, we are working on this AWS. So, this AWS will install all the necessary software for the execution of Kubernetes. You need not install this software manually. Okay, so all the necessary softwares are provided, and the even including the installation and the configuration will be provided by the this supplier only. So like AWS will give you all the necessary software directly. Okay, you need not be doing the installation process or configuring process manually. So whereas in unmanaged thing, if you want to practically do on your own physical system, then you need to install this, use this following softwares. So you can execute with Cube ADM or cops or cube spray. Okay, so you need to install this specific software on your physical machine, and then you need to follow the execution. Okay, right now what we shall do is we are working on managed part only. So as I told, we will be working over this concept on the cloud. Okay, so that is the reason we'll be working on this managed platform only. Okay, so this is the main difference uh, of these three things. One is ECS, we have already tried. EKS, we are going to try today. And this is Fargate service. So totally automated one. Okay. So here it is called as definition ECS. They are telling it as container orchestration created by AWS. We know this. So managed by Kubernetes. So as you know, the main difference is this is Kubernetes is an open source software, whereas ECS is developed by Amazon. Okay, so this Fargate, as you know, there is no nothing like container, nothing like anything. So you can directly go and start using it. Okay, it is just like a premium service, on demand service provided by Amazon. So cluster creation required. In ECS, we have already done the practical. We have created one cluster, and we have added instances to it, right? So we have done this practically also. In EKS also, as we know, it is a master node architecture. We'll be creating one master, and we will be having nodes to work. So in Fargate, we know even if you are creating 10 tasks or 10 services, you are never bothered about the background hardware resources. Okay, all the servers or anything, any resource is required will be directly provided by Fargate. Okay, so control pane cost. So we got this ECS service, right? On the ECS, we are creating cluster, we are creating task definitions, we are creating task, we are creating service. So these are all free. We will be paying only for the working nodes. That means the master will be provided free. Okay, the master will be free. So you will be only paying for the instances. For example, we have executed ECS. So in this ECS, we have created cluster, right? For the cluster is nothing but your master. So for cluster, we are not paying any amount. So only amount we will be paying for the attached instances. So we have practiced ECS by attaching two EC2 instances, right? So you will be paying only for the EC2. So rest all the software, all the configuration will be provided free of cost by ECS, right? So in but in when you are working on this EKS, the story is little different. Okay, so you need to pay $144 for the master. Okay, so master, for example, in simple terms, we call it as cluster. For cluster, you have to pay $144, and parallelly, you also need to pay for the nodes. So we are attaching our instances to the cluster, right? For each instance you attach to your cluster, you need to pay for the instances. Okay, so both, even the master is need to be paid, whereas the worker nodes also need to be paid. So similarly, whereas in ACS we need to pay only for the instances which are attached to the cluster, whereas the cluster is free. Similarly, as you know, in this Fargate, there is no master, there is no worker node, nothing, right? So pay for the task based on CPU and memory, right? How much your containers are consuming, you will be paying for that only. If you are how long your container is running, and how much hardware resource it is utilizing. According to that, you will be paying in the Fargate. So integration, deep integration with other AWS services, right? So I'll tell you one simple example. While working on this ECS, we have also worked along with EC2, right? So we have gone through EC2 section where we have checked our instance. Similarly, we have gone through this ECR, so where we have found out our images. So what happens is, when you're working this on this ECS, we have a benefit of
సార్ వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది.
voice break అవుతుందా? అంతా క్లియర్ గానే ఉంది ఇంటర్నెట్. ఓకే, ఒకసారి నేను ఇక్కడ చూస్తాను. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడేమో వాయిస్ క్లియరా? ఇప్పుడు వాయిస్ క్లియర్గా వస్తుందా?
వస్తుంది సార్.
వెంకట్, నీకమ్మా? వెంకట్, ఇందాక ఏదైనా డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వచ్చిందా అజయ్? వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అయిందా ఇందాక ఏమైనా?
సార్ మీరు అది మీ స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఆఫ్టర్ 1 మినిట్ తర్వాత వాయిస్ అనేది స్ట్రక్ అయిపోతుంది సార్ మధ్యలో.
ఓకే,
బ్రేకే
మేబీ
వస్తుంది సార్ వాయిస్.
మేబీ
స్క్రీన్
రికార్డింగ్
కూడా
వల్ల అనుకుంటా.
మేము కర్సర్ మూవ్ చేసేటప్పుడు అది ఎంత స్ట్రక్. ఇంటర్నెట్ కనెక్టివిటీ ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటుంది సార్.
ఇంటర్నెట్ అయితే ప్రాబ్లం లేదమ్మా.